to be focusing on some of the more smaller items that need to be taken care of. This isn't a restoration, but just trying to get the thing in working order. So we'll be doing some of the smaller crap. Like the other day I told you about the blinkers that worked for a minute and then one side went out and the other side went out. So I'm suspecting it may be the flasher. So we'll stop off, get us a little flasher relay. We're going to get the glove compartment box, and we're going to get the heater blower. That way we'll have some defrost. Whenever you hit this mud and water, the difference in temperatures, sometimes they'll just fog you right up. So that's going to be our little task for today. The heater blower looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. That sucker is up underneath that dash, up in there. Now they say it's only like a little 5-minute job, which in terms of me, that means it's going to take probably 2 or 3 hours. I'll break 2 or 3 things along the way, and that'll turn into another episode where I get to spend a little bit more time with y'all. Alright, so we got kind of some muggy weather today. It's about 50 degrees and raining and well, drizzling. So I don't really feel like crawling up underneath the Sammy right now to pull that gas tank. So we're going to run over to Zooks of Hazard and see our buddies over there and see if we can pick up some of these parts that we're needing for these little menial tasks. So that's our adventure for today. See how it goes. Alright. We're speeding along now at the speed of sloth and heading over to Splendora, Texas. See our buddies over at Dukes of Hazard. Those guys have worked on my Sammy a little bit. Fixed the drive shaft for me, put in a rear end, put in a front end, and a front axle. Worked on the brakes a little bit, changing out some bearings, all that kind of good stuff. So contacted Andrew this morning, asked him if he had these couple of parts over there. He's not the cheapest guy on the block, but as you saw from our little dimmer switch deal, sometimes the cheapest guys ain't the right parts. So Andrew's one of those guys where I know I can pick up a part. If I have a problem with it, all I got to do is give him a call. He'll switch it out for me. Good guy. His prices are very reasonable, and somehow every time I have an issue, he slides me into the front of the line. So top-notch little company. We got about a 45-mile drive. So we'll just sloth right over there. Going through the big town thing, Texas. Running red lights. Just having a good time. Gotta do something to keep yourself entertained. Here in a little bit, we'll be running over to our friends at O'Reilly's and pick up the relay.
Well, I never said I was an outlaw, though people say I am. That's a mighty big shoes to fill, and I don't think I ever will. But I'll do the best I can. Here we go. Oh, just because I get a little crazy, and I have been busted by the man. This here music that I'm playing, well, ain't none of that makes me wailin', but I'll do the best I can. I've got that hard driving music running through my veins. I love to turn it up, the band them gets off straight. Does the man make the music? Does the music make the man? Yeah, I'll never be no shaver. Right the hits like Willie Kane. never said I was an outlaw, but I'm doing the best that I can. Well, I heard all about Bocephus going back to sweet home Alabama just to play this kind of music that I understand. When it comes down to it, Hank, I'll do the best I can. I've got that hard driving music running through my veins. I love to turn it up, playing them guitar strings.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Does the man make music? Does the music make the man? Yeah, I'll never sing like Johnny Cash, write the hits like Haggard can. And I never said I was an outlaw, but I'm doing the best that I can. I'll take us home.
You've arrived.
Alright, so went by Zeke's the Hazard and went to go pick up the parts I contacted Andrew about, and apparently he didn't have what I needed. These glove boxes go pretty quick whenever people have them, because everybody needs them. They always break. So the one I got is actually broke. I'm gonna have to go find a piano hinge for it. But you know, the alternative is ordering that crap off of eBay. You don't know if it's gonna fit. You don't know if it's the OEM or if it's aftermarket. So the one I got has got one of the arms, which is really all I need, but it doesn't have the hinge part down at the bottom. So anyway, that ended up being like 20 bucks, which I get everybody got to make a living, but buying broke crap for 20 bucks, man, it's like, let's just say not happy about that price. So the second thing I got was the heater blower motor. Now I don't even know if mine's good or bad, but at least we know this one is good. And worst case scenario, all I have to do is wire in a working switch to get some defrost or heat going in that thing. And the price on that one was okay. I looked them up, and you know, they go from $35 to $45 for the motor, and that means you'd have to take your old wheel off and attach it to the new motor. So just to cut to the chase, it's already there. I picked up one of those from him for $40. Now I get it a lot cheaper off of eBay, but again, you never know what you're gonna get. So at least if something is crappy on this one, other than this crappy glove box I got, glove box door, I can always holler back at him and he'll flip-flop them out for me. So now we're heading back. Gonna have to make a stop off and try to see if we can maybe find a piano hinge for this thing, because it doesn't have the hinge portion on it. And so we'll see if we can rig something up and make this sucker work. And then our cell phone will be falling out of the glove compartment onto the ground in the dirt and the mud. So we'll make our little 45-minute trek back and see how it goes. Alright, so stopped off and saw my little girlfriend over at McCoy's. That's my neighbor Mitch's daughter. And tried to come up with an idea for this rope glove box cover that I just bought. And what I came up with is I'm going to try to use a piano hinge and rivet that puppy on there, and see if I can turn a broke piece of junk into a working item. So got impatient, didn't want to buy this thing off of eBay, run the risk of it being too short, too long, not the right fit, whatever. And I figure I'd get a better deal just buying a used one. So because impatience kicked in and I didn't want to spend $35 and wait for it to arrive, I've now spent $70 between the part and the little rivet gun and the piano hinge and all that kind of stuff. Thank God my wife's patient. I got a good wife, by the way. So we've been friends for probably, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years. She was actually a friend of mine from way back. And whenever I got a divorce on my second, she fit the bill for my third. And things have been going fantastic. And I wouldn't trade her for the world. And the sex is great. She knows what I like, and I know what she won't do. And we have a pretty good little time together. Whenever we first started dating, she told me that she was anal, and I was like, yeah. Come to find out, it's the wrong kind. And so I got to run these little projects by her and whatnot. But she's been real supportive, and that's probably one of my greatest tools that I've got is my wife. She's always supportive of anything that I want to do, any ventures that I get into, or any new endeavors and whatnot that I want to go for. And there's just not a whole lot of griping to her. Whenever I let her know what I've got going on or whatever little projects I've got, she's always fakes a really good interest in it, and which is enough for me, makes my life a little bit more enjoyable, especially like right now. So you've been out on the rigs and whatnot, and bouncing around West Texas, and there ain't nothing out there, but you're working 12, 15, 20-hour days and whatnot. You come home, you want to get your mind off all that. I got about a week downtime right now, so been messing around with that Sammy. She's been right there, just kind of rooting me on. She roots for me with her eyes, If they just flutter a little bit, I know it's a good thing. If they roll back in her head, then she's not as big a fan as she lets on. But she's a good woman. I love her. Wouldn't trade her for nothing. So, anyway, we've got this piano hinge and our rivet gun and our rope glove box front. We're gonna go see if we can make this thing work. Chew up my Friday afternoon. So, we'll see how it goes. And I say that a lot. We'll see how it goes. Usually, the way it goes is you fix one thing and you break three things in the process. let's go see what else we can break. Okay, so just to show you what I did here, I took a piano hinge and riveted to the glove box. This ain't perfect, by the way, so just, this isn't a what do you call it, a show car, so I'm just making it functional. But anyway, put our glove box in, installed this piano hinge, riveted to the glove compartment side, screwed into the box side, and that way we can get it in and out. So I'll probably sink me another couple of screws here and here, you know, just for added stability, but it's looking good. So I've just got to trim this down here and wrap up that little tiny project. Voila. Alright, so now we're going to try to change out this blower, which is located right up in there. I'm going to give you a reference. It is located right there. So we're going to go find out if this is a wiring problem or if this is a blower motor issue. That hurt. Okay, I was having a little trouble doing this in balance because I'm shoved up underneath this dash here. But I've got our meter up inside our plug that goes to the blower. And we're on 0. So let's turn that on. And we'll get up here on this plug. So that's our ground. That's low, medium, and high. High goes to 0, but so we've got power to the plug at least. So we're going to go ahead and pull this blower on out and see what we got. Alright, so I did the blower motor and there was a problem with the ground. And I was working on that and my buddy Mitch showed up and drugged me off and made me drink. And then my wife made me go to Waffle House. So we didn't get done what we needed done. So now we're going to have to do this tomorrow, which means there's going to be another video on the internet, and it's her fault.
You got a lovely face. We're going to your place, and now you got to freak me out.